hello, how are you? This is Elsa coming from Moon's Craft Corner, and today we're going to be doing this little project. It's a quick one, and this is a fantastic one, you know, that you can make ahead and kind of pop in to, you know, your box of grab ready ephemera, because you can do this in a regular color and then decorate it with whatever, you know, style or paper or whatever you're using. These are mini library pockets. Look at how cute they are. They're so cute. They're only 4 inches tall and 3 inches wide. And of course they fit, you know, your standard size journaling card. So you can put one of those in there and you can decorate it any way you want. Fantastic for double-sided paper. If you have double-sided cardstock and you want to do this, you know, if you do a lot of like shabby chic or something like that, you know, you could do a whole bunch of these ahead and then just, you know, stack them up, put them in your bin and have them whenever you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and grab out some supplies, and I'll be back with a list for you, and then, you know, we'll get everything started. As always, all of the dimensions and cuts and scores and all that stuff will be in the description box below. I'll be right back. Okay, first thing, double-sided cardstock. Preferably something that's not entirely two-dimensional. You know, you don't want something that's going to be like, you absolutely have to have it this way. Okay? Scoring tools, scoreboard, pair of scissors, adhesive, and a trimmer. Corner rounder if you want it, ink and a dauber. That's it for our bits, pieces, and parts. And let's get started. I'm just going to move this stuff up out of the way for a second, because I am going to bring up my trimmer. And I'm going to be cutting this piece of paper. And I want to cut it so that my stripes are going sideways. And I'm going to cut this at 3.5. And then I'm going to cut this down to 6. So this is a great project for a 6x6 pad. So I have 2 pieces. I'm going to use those 2 pieces. And I'm going to get out my scoreboard. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to keep in mind that when I'm folding this, wherever there's a valley, there's going to be a hill. So I'm going to turn it over and score on this side at 2 inches. And then I'm going to turn it long ways. And it doesn't matter whether I have the 2-inch part at the top or at the bottom. But I am going to come in and score at 3 1/4, and over here at 1/4 inch. That's going to give me 3 inches between my scores. And we will do the second one the opposite way, just so we can take a look at it. Again, I'm scoring at 2 inches, and I'm turning it. I'm scoring at 3 1/4 and at 1/4 inch. As always, all the measurements are going to be in the description box below. Okay? That's it for the scoreboard, so we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to be doing a little trimming, so I'll be right back to show you what we're going to take off. Okay, so now wherever we have a valley, we're going to turn that into a hill. And we're going to make sure that our sides line up. We're just going to go over that with the bone folder. And we're going to do all of the creases. When it's all done, you should have a piece that looks something like this. So what we're going to take off are these long pieces, and we're going to wedge here at the score on this flap side, okay? So we're going to wedge the small corner. We're going to wedge in here to where our 2 score lines intersect, and then we're going to take this whole piece off just right inside of the score line. And we're going to take the same piece off the other side. So again, we're going to take on the small corner, we're going to go ahead and wedge that. We're going to wedge here to the score line, and then we're going to remove this piece. So you have a piece that looks like this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm going to do the other one as well. because, you know, we want to see what this looks like in two different, you know, with both sides of the paper up. Okay. So again, I'm cutting this small corner, I'm wedging it in. I'm wedging here to that double score line right there, and then removing this long strip. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Wedge the corner, wedge to the score line, and then cut this piece away. Okay, so now that I have all that done, get rid of those. And at this point, you're going to want to round corners. If you're going to round your corners, you're going to put in your finger nip. If you want to put in a finger nip, now is a good time to do that. And then go ahead and ink all of your outside and your inside here. Okay, you don't have to ink the inside of the pocket or this fold, but make sure that you get the outside one. All right, so go ahead and get your nip in there and do your inking, and I'll be right back. All right, so the next part is closing these up. Obviously, we're just going to do that by putting in our little flaps, and we just want to kind of make sure that those are nice and even with the sides, and then we're just going to put a little bit of glue on there. Don't get too crazy, because if you do, it's going to ooze. We're just going to hold it for a couple of seconds. And then I'm going to do the other one. Oopsie. Okay, right there. Now you could wrap those around the back if you want to, because this pocket is going to get glued down, so it's entirely up to you if you want to put them on the front or on the back. Doesn't, you know, doesn't affect it either way. So there it is, two ways. Okay, and now, you know, we're going to make some cards for it as well. So I'll be back and we'll make some little cards to go in there. Okay, so it should be said that project life cards can be cut down and used in these pretty easily. Altered playing cards can be used in these pretty easily. They are just at 3 inches wide and they are 4 inches long. So you would be able to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just make some real quick journal cards. I'll make one, and then the other we'll use from the paper pad. So I'm just using the same paper that I used to cut these out, and I'm going to use it as a mat. And I'm going to put this on the front here. That way you have the lines in the back you can write. So I've just rounded the corners. I'm going to ink this just a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and ink the card itself. And you know, you could make this completely different if you wanted to. You could use a tag or something in here if that was something that was more to your liking. Or you could do, you know, like a folded card in there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and glue this down. And I'm going to tell you that this is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8, and this is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8, and I will put those measurements in the description box below. And that gives us 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And our card fits very nicely in our little pocket. So now let's do this with one of the journaling cards that came in this set. Alright, so this is one of the cards that came in the set, and it is just exactly 3 inches wide, so I'm going to trim it just a little bit on each side. Take a little bit more off this side because everything's kind of centered on that side, so we'll take that off. And I'm not going to do anything with this other than I'm going to round corners. Now, if I don't like this, I'll just cover it with something else. You know, I can I could put like a little banner on there if I want to, you know. So if I don't like that, well, we'll get rid of it. Here we go. I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm actually just going to cut this right there. I'm going to add that little bit of ink. All the way around. A little bit of glue. And let's do a little something to add some interest. Alright, we'll add a little piece. I'm not even going to bother to ink this because the edges are already colored. Let's put a little glue. Bring that right there. Ink the edge of the card. And I'm going to go ahead and put a piece on the back here. So this one is 3 3/4, so 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. Get that out of the way for a second. Well, 2 1/4. I got that small. Let's try that again. We're going to go 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. 2 1/2. And 3 1/2. Round a couple of corners. Bit of ink. Okay, bring our card back over. Some adhesive. Now again, this is one of those places where it's not a stress point, so if you want to use tape on here, you certainly can. we have our second pocket with a cute little card in it. And that's it. I'll be right back, okay? All right, so here's my simple little easy project. So these are kind of mini library card pockets, because they're not nearly as long, as large as a library pocket, but they are on the same principle. So that's it, done it two ways with double-sided paper. You can use this in a journal, you can tuck it into a tuck spot or glue it down, however you want to do it. Little journaling card in there with some space on the back to write on. Just a fantastic little piece that you can make ahead. If you have a specific style, you could make 4 or 5 of these ahead and just do the cards as necessary. That's it. That's all I have for you today. Listen, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends. And then your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends. And before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 11, 12, 1 across the country, 8 o'clock over in Hawaii. I post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and whenever I feel like it. And in 2022, I have 2 different things going on. First of which is my hashtag 12 of 22 journal challenge. If you would like more information about that, just go to the description box below and click on the link. It'll take you over to a slideshow, tell you everything about it. And the other thing is free classes. I'm doing a complete series of free classes on different types of journals at a beginner's level. So these are very beginner, very basic classes. And if you want more information about those, the best way to get that is when you ring that bell, make sure that you select all so that you get the notifications when those videos go live. Okay? That's it. That's all I have for you. Until I see you again, stay safe. Bye-bye.